Please. Gosh, it's been a day of interviews. I'm just going to start with our opening prayer and then off we go. O great Spirit, Father Sky, Mother Earth, the winds, the waters, my Father, my Mother, Atanaha, all that is. We thank you for our lives and we thank you for these good people. We thank you for all that we are and all that we are to become. We dedicate our time spent together and our relationships with one another to you. We ask that our suffering be ended, that our pain be lifted to the love and to the peace that lay beyond. Aho, Amen, Namaste. Hi, ladies. So I'm just coming on today because of some divine guidance that I've had. And I wanted to do a bit of an energy clearing and a bit of talking about, really stepping into your power and coming out of hiding as a spiritual teacher and as a spiritual healer. And also really connecting with you on how beautiful your gifts are. And I come at that from this really powerful divine mother energy, because so many of us have gifts that are not considered real by humanity, whether that's the gift of healing or the gift of clairvoyance or clairsentience, like you're an empath. And we grew up having no validation or recognition for our gifts. And if you can imagine that little child running into the kitchen with its first drawing and going, "Mummy, mummy, mummy," and mummy going, "Oh my God, this is amazing, darling." And how much that validation and that being seen and being nurtured as your gifts evolved is important to that child. It's no different with your psychic gifts and abilities. The first time that you see colors, the first time that you see an aura, the first time that you hear voices, your intuition, the first time that you feel other people's feelings, those being validated by your parents as a child is rare. And what happens is most psychics, healers, teachers, goddesses grow up with no validation and no recognition of the power and the importance of their psychic and spiritual gifts. And what we don't value then leads to the world being a mirror, right? If you don't value your psychic and spiritual gifts, the world doesn't value your psychic and spiritual gifts. And that's such a profoundly powerful thing, because so many people that I meet are in the spiritual closet, even if they've done a few training courses, even if they're already good teachers and healers. They, especially in entrepreneurial circles, they talk about it as being visibility. But the truth is that deep down, you're not proud of your gifts and you don't have any connection with how important they are to the world, to humanity, and to the people who are needing them from you, because Creator doesn't make mistakes. You got your divine and your spiritual gifts for a reason, right? And that reason was to light up humanity. That reason was to make the darkness tremble. That reason was to change the world. It was a response to prayers that were going up from the people that were already incarnated on the planet, and also a response for what we wanted the future to be like for our future generations. So every seed that's been planted in you by the divine was supposed to bear fruit, and is a very great blessing to humanity. And it's not arrogance to think that, it's humility. As Course in Miracles would say, the arrogance is thinking that you don't matter. The arrogance is thinking that your gifts aren't important. When the truth is, the humility is knowing how important these gifts are to the world. And that's been coming up today because I've been interviewing the graduates of the medical intuitive program, but also because I've been having a lot of conversations with women who are joining our Fierce Fertility program. Our numbers are starting to go up now, and how much they're scared of their own gifts of fertility, and how much they also think fertility is just about having a baby. When if you have blocks to fertility, it creates cysts, it creates hormonal imbalances in your endocrine system. It makes menopause a nightmare. And it makes connecting with your partner on an intimate level very difficult as well. So it's this idea of your pleasure and your bliss being a gift to the world. I've been really pulled in this direction, to have this conversation today about how important your gifts are. And I can feel your angels and creators saying that you don't take it seriously. You think that the low self-esteem and that this self-deprecation that you're using towards yourself is not a big deal, not that serious. But it is really blocking some serious miracles from manifesting in your life. And I am really Not kidding. Okay, it's blocking some serious miracles from manifesting because your energy is powerful, your words are powerful, your gifts are powerful. So if you're ready to have this clearing, if you're ready to like release your blocks to your spiritual power and release your blocks to dealing with these issues later. So much of what's being blocked right now is us going, oh, there's already so much on my plate. Let me deal with having kids later. Let me deal with my hormonal problems later. Let me deal with my fear of stepping into my power and being visible after I've written the course, after I've done all this stuff, after I've done all the courses. And this energy of later creates this dread that hangs over us and makes doing the things that we have to do in order to step into our full power really, really hard. So one of the practices that I have is that I do the things that I am afraid of doing or that I'm avoiding doing first. And the reason that I do that is because it means that I am not under this cloud of dread the whole day where I'm thinking, oh my God, if I finish this, then I have to do that. And when you do the things that are hard first, it makes you super brave. And it also sets a standard for the day that you meet the mountains that you are overcoming today head on, that you are able to really, I suppose, be proud of yourself because you were scared of it and you did it anyway. And that you're also able to see the results and the miracles coming faster, because there's a rule that the faster you follow your divine guidance, right, particularly when it's about becoming visible or about becoming fertile or about stepping into your power, the faster you get those miracles coming your way, right? Every step you take in faith leads to more opportunities unfolding in front of you, and it takes you out of that dread, out of that worry, out of that procrastination energy. So I do the things that I find hardest first because it just takes that weight off of me. And I really, really recommend that you ask Creator to step into that with you so that you are also doing the things that you find the hardest first, because otherwise it's not just light that's cumulative. So if you meditate every single day, then over time, not only do you get neural pathways that are built that are strong enough to take you to that next level, but you have a cumulative energetic effect where it's not just one day of meditation or one day of yoga or one day of healthy eating. It starts to build on top of the other until you literally have reserves. And that means if you make a mistake, you're carried by grace. And it's really obvious when you look at it in the sense of, if I take my vitamins every day and I miss one day, my immune system is still strong. If I exercise every day and I miss one day, my body is still strong, right? So this cumulative effect is very powerful when it comes to shifting your consciousness from one of fear to one of love. The same compounding effect happens with an act of fear. So if every day you're avoiding being more visible, if every day you're avoiding trying for that baby, or even admitting that you want a child and that you have fertility blocks, if every day you are avoiding those finances, if every day you're pretending that you're not psychic and you're instead going into, you know, I'm going to do business stuff and I'm going to do this and I'm going to sell that because that's what people want instead of being myself, that fear gets bigger every day. That dread gets bigger every day. And you find yourself doing less and less and less of what's a part of your divine purpose and your divine timing, and more of the things that actually don't move the wheels in your business, don't create more miracles in your life, don't give you the lifestyle that you want, don't give you the relationship that you want. So it's really important to understand, and it was the Course in Miracles that really taught that to me, that we underestimate our light, but we also underestimate the darkness, and that when we are not practicing love, and part of love is facing it till you make it, is showing up on a very deep level and being who you need to be and stepping into that power, until you really face that, then that darkness is growing, and the practices that you have that are fear-based are becoming stronger and stronger. The same way that if you did the loving practice every day, you'd be getting new neural pathways that are reinforcing that habit. When you do the negative stuff every day, you're getting new neural pathways that are enforcing fear-based habits, right? So there is no neutral, and that's one of the biggest teachings of A Course in Miracles, that there is no such thing as a neutral thought. That's what it says. It's literally the quote from Course in Miracles. There's no such thing as a neutral thought. And there's also no such thing as a neutral action. Ta-da! No such thing as a neutral action. And when your habit is of avoiding, avoiding the responsibility, avoiding the visibility, avoiding the strategy in the financial planning, avoiding the sales, avoiding your psychic gifts, avoiding the practice. All of those things become habits, right? And then those habits rule your life in a very toxic way. And not only that, they attract toxic situations, toxic business relationships, toxic people. And that's a really painful trap that you don't want to be caught into. And it's not what you deserve. You know, you are a miracle of creator manifest. You deserve to have a beautiful life. You deserve to be healthy and to be strong and to be abundant. You deserve to share your gifts onto the world. You deserve to crush those generational curses. You deserve that money. You deserve that baby. You deserve that relationship. You deserve that next magical up level, but that only comes from facing it till you make it, not avoiding and not backing out. And that's what's saying, it's coming out of you on so many levels, because one of the biggest things, particularly with the Fierce Fertility launch, that I didn't even realize was an issue was how much people don't even admit to themselves that they have a problem. And it's really funny because I work a lot with women who have fertility issues and weight issues. But until we see ourselves, we are in denial because it hurts so much to get close to what we really want. And that deep fear that we're never going to have it means that we avoid it. And it's very often when we're scared of losing what we have, right? Losing the toxic relationship that we have, or losing the emotional and mental stability that we have, which is often what we feel like we're risking when we're trying for another baby, even the financial security. And this one is huge, guys. Financial security is massive for women who are becoming fertile, because believe it or not, it's not the gender pay gap, it's the motherhood pay gap. And that's what all the science shows. If you want more information on that, there's a really good book called Pregnant Then Screwed that you can go and read, that has all the facts and figures and statistics. But the truth is that when women become fertile, on average, they lose 30% of their income per child. And that is international statistics. And it's even worse where we are in the UK, and even higher than that in America. And it's not just a statistic that applies to men being prejudiced towards women, it applies to women being prejudiced towards women. So very often we have a deep, very shadowy fear that we refuse to see. But our fear is very obvious. It's that we will not be able to provide for the future generations, and that they will cost us everything that we have. So it gets hidden in the fertility closet, right? Nobody wants to most people are so ashamed of not being fertile as well. And that comes from the whole, you know, being fertile is a woman's worth, and you being able to literally nullify marriages through religion if a woman wasn't able to conceive or get pregnant. It's a very, very big subconscious block. But fertility is not just related to having children. And this is where it gets interesting. So much as finances block our fear of being financially discriminated against, block our fertility, so does blocking our fertility block our ability to manifest abundance, because fertility is about being inseminated by the ideas of God. And it's about carrying those ideas to fruition, to the end of the gestation period. And that comes from channeling that idea down from Creator of all that is, and then creating the space within your energy and within your mind for that dream to manifest on earth. Just like you create space within your mind and your body for that child to manifest on earth. And when we have blocks around our own fertility, we have blocks around our manifestation. We have blocks around our income, because we are not allowing ourselves to create something completely unique. Just like there is no child like any other child, there is no project like any other project. Even if you do the exact same thing that somebody else is teaching, you teach it differently. Your energy is different. God does not make copies. So when our fertility is blocked, it does not just affect our ability to have children. It affects our ability to create projects and to manifest projects. And women in particular have had this fear coming down generation after generation after generation, because when they were socially subjected to discrimination financially for having children, and they were made to be dependent and give up their own dreams and their own lives, so then that transfers onto their dreams of manifesting their divine life purpose. and then manifests as them being afraid of even going or even beginning their dreams, or them sabotaging it halfway, or them not being able to carry it to gestation, and them being blocked at some way along the project, or them creating something that's just a copy of somebody else's stuff because they don't really believe in what they have to offer or what they have to give. And this is where it's come up over and over and over again when I'm doing work with entrepreneurs, and it's helped them make their first 6 figures and their first millions, is that very often it's not just about being fertile with children. It's about being fertile ground for the ideas from the divine, and being open to the vulnerability and the lack of control as to what will come through you and what you're going to be given to create next, and the vulnerability that you're going to be asked to step into with each new level of growth, because we have this complete illusion that if we get to the next level, then we will feel safe. If we get to the next level, it will be less vulnerable. If we just master this next round, then the next round won't be so hard. And in my experience, especially with spiritual people, when it's constant growth and constant up leveling, it's always difficult to be vulnerable. You know, being vulnerable doesn't get easier tomorrow than it is today. And every new level has new mountains. Every new level has new challenges, and more pressure to pretend that you're okay when you're not, more pressure to pretend that you know everything when you don't. And that's where I think more and more people struggle with mental health issues, or with you know, an inability to produce, or thinking that the best days in their business are behind them, because they have this idea that it should get easier as you move forward, when the reality is that you have more skills and you become stronger, but the challenges are still the same, and it's constantly evolving, right? The world is not the same place it was 4 years ago. Completely different economically, completely different financially, completely different rule-wise or business-wise. So the goalposts can move, not on a spiritual level, because there the goalpost is always to create unconditional love, but on a human level, what is required to achieve your goals changes, and that can feel impossible. And that's no different whether you're thinking it's impossible to overcome the hurdles to having a baby, or it's impossible to overcome the hurdles to living your dreams. So I'm going to jump into the energy clearing now. And it was really important, like, it's just keep getting the message to connect with you guys today and say, you know, your angels are telling me some of you are hiding, some of you are pretending that the issues that you have are financial or emotional, when really it is about fertility, it is about childhood, it is about providing, and it's just being covered up with a red herring, as they would call it in law school. And I'm calling you forward, right? It's your time, and you deserve to be fertile, not just to children, but to the ideas of creator. And without moving into that profound intuition and that deep faithfulness, it's going to stay blocked, which is why we're doing this energy clearing. Okay, so I want you to close your eyes. I want you to imagine your sacral chakra lighting up like a star, your solar plexus chakra lighting up like a star, your sacral chakra lighting up like a star, your heart lighting up like a star. So many of you are going like, don't look here, don't look here. I can literally feel the energy pushing away, but I'm looking, guys. Creator isn't looking away. There we go. They're moving up to heart chakra lighting up like a star, throat chakra lighting up like a star. Better. Third eye chakra lighting up like a star. Crown chakra lighting up like a star. There we go. And then auric field lighting up like a star. And then I want you to step into that beautiful bubble of white light. No fear can enter the white light, and nothing inside the white light can be harmed or hurt. Let's breathe. I can feel the overwhelm. So if you're feeling overwhelmed right now, this is for you. I want you to just take a deep breath and give it to Creator. I want you to imagine your angels are coming in, Give Creator the overwhelm, that feeling of I can't do the finances, the husband, the kids, the spiritual growth. Breathe. This is too hard. This is too much. I'm not strong enough. Give that all to Creator. Whoa. Hand it over. All of it. Some of you need to place your hands on your heart because there's like walls around your heart. It's like there are walls around your womb because you just have to keep, you feel like you just have to keep going no matter what. So let's just hand that over so that you can receive the unconditional protection of Creator of all that is. So that you can fully step into that space of knowing that if you allow it, you will be taken care of. And then letting those deeper, trust issues, right? Because I can feel that if you allow it and I can't trust anyone. So can you hand over all of this distrust, all of this betrayal trauma to Creator now, please? Gosh, all the sexual betrayal, the emotional betrayal, the heartbreak, the family betrayal, the betrayal of your own parents, any inherited betrayal curses that are being handed down the generations are undone. Any betrayal trauma that's been in your family, even from generations, cannot stand against God's unconditional love and light. Just breathe. Woo. They're just being broken now. Okay. And now I'm feeling so much anxiety coming from your heart. So can we create, like your angels are laughing and I can hear them saying, it takes longer to worry about doing something than it takes to actually do it most of the time. So can we just hand over that anxiety, that doubt? Because what you focus on is where you go. And if you're focused on your ability to not do something, then you end up not doing it, right? So just breathe and hand that over to God. And anywhere where you're using this anxiety or this fear to give you energy to keep you going, kind of like a caffeine rush, can Creator connect you to his unconditional strength? Ooh, beautiful. Okay. Starting to feel the calm settling now. And they're pulling me up to your Untitled Chakra in your head. And this is the dream chakra. So can we just unplug you from other people's dreams for you, your parents' dreams for you, your partner's dreams for you, your children's dreams for you, the collective consciousness's dreams for you, everywhere where you are tapped into other people's dreams instead of to your authentic dreams. There we go. Whoa. It's causing so much anxiety, so much people pleasing. Some of you are being called to completely switch businesses, to completely switch paradigms, to completely change your life right now. And that energy can be really terrifying. So can we give that terror to Creator and show you that you are getting divine guidance and that it's okay. It's okay for you to hear that. It's okay for you to do that. And that when you get that kind of divine guidance, breathe and go, okay, what would you have me do? Where would you have me go? Right? As opposed to going into, I'm not ready for this, or it's too much, or so we'll go into what's the next step? What's the next step? What's the next step? Empires are built one step at a time. Okay, beautiful. It's so much better. Okay, and now I'm feeling I'm being taken to your back, and it's all about not being supported. And there's so much anger and resentment always comes from comparison and jealousy. If you don't believe me, go and read Brené Brown's book, Atlas of the Heart. So all the places where you're comparing your life to other people's, where you think you should have more, or where you want to be more like them, or that it should have worked out for you by now. Anywhere where you're comparing your life to a superficial version of theirs, on social media, etc. Can we release that now, please? And anywhere where you're focusing on how hard your life is. Remember what we said, focus goes, it's what you create. So if you're focusing on life is hard, you get more life is hard. Okay, beautiful. Whoa. Okay, now there's a lot of bypassing going on here. So anywhere where you are dissociated from the part of yourself that gets jealous or angry and resentful because you think it's not spiritual, what you dissociate from cannot be healed. And that's what why dissociation creates disease. Why can it not be healed? Because for a healing to happen, you have to give your free will. And that's why Louise Hay says willingness to change, right? For healing to happen, you have to be willing. And that's what free will is. And when you're dissociated from a part of you, you can't give consent to that healing. You don't even know that part of you is there. And that's how the whole of shadow work is created, because then we become unconscious to that part ever existing. So let's just start by sending unconditional love to that part of us that's angry or that's jealous or is comparing. And just saying, Creator, I need a miracle here. I don't know how this is going to be healed. There we go. Whew. I don't know how this is going to be healed. I don't know if it can be healed. All the times that I was compared to my siblings or to people who were doing better at school or to people who were more beautiful than me or making more money than me or better mothers than me, all those times where I've been compared by my parents, by my partner, by my friends, by myself, it's so painful. Breathe. By my boss. It's so painful that I've had to hide it somewhere in the dark. But I'm asking for a miracle because I know that what's impossible for me is completely possible for you and possible instantly. So I'm asking for a miracle. I'm asking for a healing. I'm asking for this generational curse to be broken. And I'm asking to be able to connect with unconditional divine power and the unconditional strength and healing, because I'm worthy. Worthy of being fertile, worthy of being abundant, worthy of having extraordinary spiritual and psychic gifts, worthy of investing in myself, worthy of being loved and validated and recognized, worthy of rest. And I know that of my own strength, I can't heal this part of me. So thank you for that miracle. Just breathe as you hand over that part into that divine light. Okay, now I'm feeling peace start to wash over you, but I'm still feeling this exhaustion and this weakness, like this lack of energy. So I'm going to bring in an energizing vortex. I want you to imagine this beautiful golden light up with crystalline amethyst and diamond violet energy coming through, and all your angels surrounding you. And I want you to feel the strength of God going into every bone, every muscle, every cell, every level of your consciousness, mind, heart, and soul. Feel your body getting stronger. Everywhere where there is weakness, feel the strength enter. Every room in your mind where there is weakness, feel the divine strength come in and turn on the light and dissolve that darkness. Divine strength is your birthright, and it's not force. Power is very different than force. Just let that divine strength come in and just notice how gentle it is. I mean, how gentle is it to turn a light on? How gentle is it to watch the waves lapping on the shores of the ocean? Yet how powerful. You don't need to force anything. You don't need to be forceful to be strong. There you go. Beautiful. Ooh. And then I can feel you guys going, I don't want to be strong. It's like you can't fight against who you are. You are already strong, okay? I'm not asking you not to have boundaries. I'm asking you to have loving boundaries and keep your strength instead of having to manifest weakness to hold boundaries for you. Weakness is the illusion of boundaries, right? Getting sick instead of saying no, staying infertile instead of up leveling that relationship. Getting sick instead of up leveling your business because you're and don't want to hire the assistant or take responsibility. Every time where you find weakness, whether it's through sickness or through mental health problems or through avoiding your divine power, your fertility or opportunities, it's because you are relying on weakness to set a boundary that you are not strong enough to set spiritually and verbally and honestly. So let's just step into that space, please. I'm just going to close weird pop-up window that I have. There we go. Okay, I'm starting to feel that. Okay, and I'm really feeling this for someone. Someone's angels are coming through really strong and going, it's time. It's time to stop waiting for the love and support that you never got in your childhood from your friendships and your partner and the people in your life. It's time to start giving it to yourself. And when you give it to yourself, that is when you will get it from the other people in your life. It's time to stop withholding that love and support and validation. There we go. Hi, Lucia. Hi, Ra. Hi, Maria. Okay. There you go. I can feel that heart pop. And now we're getting to it because now I'm feeling the womb and I'm feeling the heartbreak. And they're so connected because, hi, Angelina, because hearts are made in the womb. Okay. So let's just start by healing the generational heartbreak. Any heartbreak that you inherited from your mother or father when you were in the womb. Can we destroy and discreate this now? Now, being strong is not permission, right? Being strong is not giving permission for you to be around people who will break your heart, who will break your spirit, who do not believe in you. Okay, just because you can handle it, just because you can rise above it, doesn't mean that you should be having to do it all the time. Okay, beautiful. Whew. Okay, now that's starting to go. There's so much numbness, guys. Do you have a permission to work on this numbness? I'm just going to discreate this numbness. Numbness is a feeling, okay? And it's the feeling that creates dissociation. And it's what we do when something hurts. We numb it, either consciously or subconsciously. There we go. Instead of numbing it, I want you to surround it in this powerful blue healing light. And I know that this numbness worked. Okay, it worked to give you grace, to buy you time, to get out of the toxic relationship, to save the money that you needed to survive being raised in a domestic violence household. But it's not serving anymore, right? It let you survive your childhood, but it's leading to you missing all of the miracles that are available to you in your adult life. There we go. Woo! There we go. Okay, that's looking a lot stronger now. And you guys are still trying to hide this energy from me. I can feel you trying to hide it from God as well, which is this energy of I give up and nothing has purpose or meaning. I don't even really want to be here anyway. So can I show you that you were never anywhere other than in the heart of God? And that you need to allow that connection to take place now, not when you die, not when you feel like you've accomplished what you need to accomplish, but so that you can be who you really are, and so that you can actually embody joy and health and abundance in your body and in your life. You know, life is a terrible experience unless you are connected to God. Tree's going, you got a feel for us over the internet. Yeah, I got you. I got you guys. Right? Connection to God is not a reward you give yourself for a job well done. And it's not something you can get out of. It's an illusion that you can be separate from Creator, right? Every moment of your life, good or hard, God is with you. So would you be willing to let go of that anger towards God and see that God is with you? God is with you every time you got your heart broken. God was with you every time you got betrayed. God got hurt every time that you got hurt, because God walked into those situations with you so that you would never be alone. You may have fallen into those traps by yourself because you were thinking fearful thoughts, or you were surrounded by people who were in darkness, but you fell in. God walked in just so he could be with you and just so you'd be able to get out. So can we release that anger? There we go. Whew. Okay, and then just releasing this generational madness of I'm trapped in poverty, trapped in disease, trapped in a bad family, bad relationships, bad marriage, trapped in this life. Let's just release all those toxic beliefs, because that's a nasty manifestation, guys. Whatever you walked into, whatever situation you find you're in, Creator's in there with you. Miracles are available to you. Ooh. Okay, and then there's like these toxic beliefs coming up. I will not survive. I will not survive another breakup. I will not survive another toxic relationship with my boss or another job. I will not survive another round of COVID. I will not survive another round of corruption. Sometimes we have mountains because we are still discovering our own strength. Everything that you thought you could not survive, you have survived. And not only that, you have gone on, most of you, to thrive, right? So that's a lie. Can you give that lie to God? Because it's a lie, and it's a deeply entrapping lie, because your brain goes there and you go, oh, that's true, right? I have to protect myself because I couldn't survive another breakup. I have to protect myself because I couldn't survive being stolen from again, or embezzled from again, or having the publishing company screw me over again. I couldn't survive that bad gossip on the internet again. I couldn't survive being hurt like that again. Bullshit. You are a warrior. You are strong. You are fierce. You will survive, and you will thrive, and you will move every mountain that is in front of you until you discover your own strength. And then maybe you won't need so many mountains. There you go. Okay. Beautiful. So I'm just going to bring a powerful blessing down onto all of you now, because I'm feeling like this energy is really moved. There's still definitely some more work to be done around your heart. So your angels and Creator are going to stay with you doing that deep heart healing work for the next 3 days. Ooh, just invite them in right now. Even if you don't believe in this, just invite them in, give them a chance. And if you are sitting on the fence about coming out of the fertility problem closet and you just think it's too vulnerable, if you are sitting there wondering if you need to work, with this community, if you're ready to be a medical intuitive or come out of the spiritual closet, just take a nice deep breath. You've been guided to be here, right? And you deserve good things. Okay. If you're wondering whether or not you need what's being channeled here, just drop us a message or an email, and I've got an incredible team. They will take care of you. Okay. For some reason, I'm also being guided to say that it took me a long time, years, guys, to create my own courses or my own modalities. And it's because I, like you, thought there's more than enough in the world. I can just literally do someone else's. But the truth is, that particularly when it comes to psychobiology and when it comes to medical intuition, that isn't true. And so many of us are struggling with this. So this is the most, like, Fierce Fertility is the most vulnerable program I've ever written, and there's a reason I wrote it separate to medical intuitive and every other course, and it's because there's so much grief here and there's so much power here, but there's so much grief here that I felt that it deserved its own container. Okay, so don't worry, I got your back. I didn't make it for no reason. I made it because we need it, and I also made it because I wished I'd had it when I was going through the miscarriages and pregnancies and challenges that I faced. So I don't just say I'm here, I am genuinely here. Okay, let's do our closing prayer. O Great Spirit, Father Sky, Mother Earth, the winds, the waters, my Father, my Mother, Atanaha, all that is. We thank you for our lives, and we thank you for these good people. We thank you for all that we are and all that we are to become. We dedicate our time spent together and our relationships with one another to you. We ask that our suffering be ended and our pain be lifted to the love and to the peace that lay beyond. Aho, Amen, Namaste. I love you guys so much. See you soon.